going to be strange going into a school, a lot of people looking at you, and you hear them, you're walking through the hall and you hear, do you know she had a baby? You know?
I'm taking my time, so please don't rush me. Trying to sort out some things I didn't know existed.
Every day in America, 3,000 teenage girls become pregnant. Every year, 600,000 of them will have babies.
Only take what's there, 'cause the rest doesn't matter.
I'm Sally Kellerman. Today we'll meet 5 teenage girls who became pregnant. Each faced the difficult choice of having a baby, having an abortion, or giving a baby up for adoption. They're not easy decisions, particularly when you're sweet 16 and pregnant.
First, we were all surprised, you know. Everybody looked at like, Carol Clute is pregnant? Because at the time she wasn't married, you know.
Carol is a sweetheart, and Dave is a really nice kid, and they both deserve the best. But they're in a situation now, a real bind.
I started liking David when I was about 12 or 13. Me and Dave, we cared about each other, and we just wanted to experience it, and we did. And it just happened to be that I got pregnant, that's all. I wanted to get married to David, you know. Some people, there's rumors at school saying that he didn't really love me, and they're just stupid little rumors that people pick up so they talk about me. But, you know, that was between me and David, not nobody else, and he did love me. And it's only between me and David of what we want to get married for, you know.
Although Carol wanted to get married when she discovered she was pregnant, her mother was vehemently opposed to it.
I thought of when she married David that in years to come he would say, well, I could have been this in life, or I could have been this, you know, without you having to tie me down. I know the hurt that this happens. I hope it doesn't happen to her.
Carol and David got married, although her mother refused to give permission until after the baby was born. By that time, David had enlisted in the Army, and soon after the wedding, he was shipped off to Alabama for basic training. By then, Carol was so angry with her mother that she and the baby moved in with David's parents, just across the street from where her mother lives, and from where Carol grew up. David's parents accepted Carol readily, even though it meant 2 more people in an already crowded household. But now, tensions are growing because Carol fears she may be pregnant again.
Hi. Say hello, Grandma.
This afternoon, she'll phone the doctor for the results of her pregnancy test.
Carol, what time do you think you're going to be calling today?
Well, I think about 3:30.
What are you going to do if the test is positive?
Me? It's gonna be a lot of work raising 2 little babies and giving one, you know, attention to each of them. I've gotten a lot of help from you, so maybe try. I'll do it.
I got damned angry, okay? I think they're too young. They haven't had a chance to live, neither one of them. But they have a lot of years ahead of them bringing that child up.
Sorry, I'm late.
10 years ago, it would have been unheard of for a 16-year-old girl to bring her baby to high school. But recently, some school districts have responded to the needs of teenage mothers. Carol attends one of the few high schools in the country that has a nursery where she can leave her baby while she attends classes. But the nursery can only handle 13 children, and there are now 20 teenage mothers on the waiting list.
Carol, hi. Say hi, Monty. How are you, Taylor? Here, take them. Put your bib on you.
Carol, you had that pregnancy test a little while ago. You haven't heard yet.
No, they told me to call back. Yeah. I'm kind of nervous, too, about it, because I don't want to be pregnant right now. When I learned that Carol might be pregnant again, I felt disappointed and I felt really apprehensive. I believe that she has the potential to go on to college. I don't believe she'll ever get there.
Let me explain what I've given to you here. You've each got an instruction sheet.
I'm worried what people are going to say about me. Oh boy, this girl just had a baby 5 months ago or so, and boy, she's already pregnant, you know. She's not even 18 yet, and she has 2 kids. You know, I shouldn't be like that, because I shouldn't care what people think of me, you know. But I am, especially my own family. I don't know how my mom would react. She's been through a lot already about me being pregnant once. I don't know what she'll do about it twice.
Hello, doctor's office?
Yes, I was wondering if you could tell me about, well, I had a pregnancy test taken last Friday, and they told me to call back at least by 3 work days and at least by Wednesday. And I was wondering if you could tell me what it was. My name was Carol Cano.
Cano?
C-A-N-O.
It came back negative.
Did it?
You're not pregnant.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Yeah. I don't think I can handle it right now, taking care of 2 little babies. Because as David says, when I was having Monty, you know, it's like a baby having a baby. That's how he put it.
In a few months, Carol will join David at his military base. Not until then will her marriage truly begin. And not until then will she face the pressures that so often destroy a teenage marriage. Not only will she be a mother, but a high school student as well. Not only will she be a housekeeper and a wife, but she'll have to work to supplement the pay of an enlisted man. Those are difficult demands on even the most mature and experienced woman.
Me and David knew about birth control pills, and that's why this year he said, you know, we are kind of stupid. And he said, we have everything right in front of our eyes, and we didn't even see it. And I said, you're right, we were very dumb. We were.
I could just think back to the time where I had planned on going to college and being an attorney, and it was like all of that was over. I wasn't going to be able to stay in the dorm anymore, and it was like it was just all over.
Jackie Terrell is 17. She has a 2-year-old daughter.
And the biggest thing was that I didn't have it was like, well, my boyfriend had told me he would be by me through it all. And he wasn't there. And as things progressed, I seen that I was really on my own. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have clean hair. Wait just a minute. Yes. After Tiffany was born, I felt like I was an old woman. And I began to think that I wasn't going to have a very good future. And it was like I had no one to turn to at first. Okay.
Jackie lives in her grandmother's apartment with her daughter Tiffany. Jasmine, her 13-year-old sister, her brother, and mother live upstairs. Every day, Jackie must find time for household chores, her job, and for schoolwork so she can start college this fall. Time to be a mother and a teenager has to be squeezed in whenever possible.
Get off of there, get off of there.
Felicia, you still want to come to the party? It's not ours, it's this girl named Julie.
Ask her if she coming to the party.
Oh, okay. Oh. All right, well, I'll call you back, okay? She said she been gone a week.
You get ready to get it. Stop.
didn't hurt you. You're such a crybaby.
When I get mad at Tiffany, I feel guilty later on. Then there's the times when she gets in the Vaseline and the talcum powder, and I'm really exhausted by this time, and she's painting my fingernails, she's combing my hair, and I just want to say, oh, leave me alone, kid, leave me alone. Whoa.
Jackie, what time do you have to be home?
Normally I have to be home by 11:30 to 12, but tonight, I say 1 o'clock at the limit. It's like I want a date. I want to go out and date like a teenager, but I don't want to bring a different, bring a different guy home and say, well, hey, my mom has this guy, and the next week it's this guy. So it's hard.
Oh, girl, you can't get mad. This is
I meet a guy, sometimes he'll say, well, hi, you look nice, let me take your number. Then I say, I have a little girl. Oh, you do? Well, I'll call you some other time. And I never get the phone call again. I always thought my boyfriend was going to stick by my side, but unfortunately it didn't work out that way. Now I'm going through this thing where he's denied that he's Tiffany's father. And so I have to go to court and all of that, basically because he doesn't want to pay, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is Tiffany knowing who her father really is. I feel that she has the right to know.
Jackie has been able to cope with the pressures of being a teen parent largely because of the strong support of her family.
Okay, come here. Look.
But this fall, her grandmother was unable to care for Tiffany, and Jackie was forced to change her plans for college and had to drop all but 2 of her classes.
I thought being a mother was going to be something like it is on the soap operas. You just have to feed them and give them just the things that are necessary for life. And it's really it's more difficult than that. You have to give up a lot of things, at least I did. After people are gone away.
When I met Art, I was 16, and we were both in high school. He was in the 11th grade, and I was in the 10th grade.
Me and a buddy of mine used to cruise around the schools a lot, picking up young ladies and things, seeing how far we could go with things,
Debbie Robinson and Art Lund live in a small Northern California town. They met in high school and have been dating on and off since. They have graduated from high school, and now Art is the foreman in an auto transmission shop. And Debbie delivers parts for an auto wrecking company and hopes to become a cross-country truck driver. Their friendship began 2 years ago.
I didn't know I was pregnant when we broke up, and then I found out afterwards. And when I told Art, he got offensive at first.
I was kind of I don't know what you'd call it, chauvinistic or whatever. It was like, I didn't actually turn my back, but I was feeling a lot of peer pressure and stuff from my friends saying, you don't gotta keep it and all this. It's not your responsibility. You didn't do it. I tried to be hardcore all the time and say, well, it's the woman's place, it's not my fault. And try and convince myself that, but I knew I was lying to myself. I wanted to keep the child. It was part of me too. But I knew that there was no way, and I confronted her about it. And I said, well, no, we can't keep it. And she was heartbroken, and I didn't really know what I was feeling about it.
For about 2 weeks, I thought, now, what are you going to do seriously? Where would you be in 5 years from now with the decision you make now? And that's what I had to stop and think about, what's going to happen tomorrow, not just today. And so I went ahead and had an abortion for everybody concerned, including me, mostly me. I didn't want anybody's help going with me or financially or anything. I had to do it by myself. That's just how I felt. I just had to put on a mask and a fake attitude and go in and do it. And then after I was finished just kick back and give out that big sigh of relief.
I felt guilty for a long time, but as time went on, I don't feel guilty about it now. I'm glad she did it. It was a sacrifice, you know, but I wasn't, you know, I don't like to talk about it like this, but I wasn't stuck with a kid that I really didn't want.
I was afraid to tell anybody for a long time. But then after a while, I needed to talk to somebody, and so I told my mom that I had an abortion, and she said, well, do you think you did the right thing? I think she felt kind of hurt, but she seemed very understanding, and she reacted like, there goes my baby, she's not a baby no more.
It was pretty rough because I was going to have an abortion, but I tell you, I couldn't do it. At first it was money. I couldn't get the money. I was waiting for my boyfriend to send it, and it never came, it never came. And the more time it took, the more time I had to think about it. And I couldn't do it.
6 months ago, 16-year-old Renee Harrington had everything. She was an A student, a high school track star, outgoing and popular. She had a boyfriend she loved. Then Renee discovered she was pregnant.
And I knew I was, but something inside me kept saying, no, you're not, no, you can't be. And I didn't want to accept it.
Renee lived in Fort Myers, Florida with her father, 2 brothers, and her stepmother, Annette. For 2 months, she kept her pregnancy a secret.
I didn't want my parents to know. You know, I do respect my parents, and that's kind of a blow in the stomach when you tell your parents that you're pregnant.
The first feeling that you get is instantaneous anger, an anger that's so overpowering that you find it difficult to even, most people would find it difficult to even comprehend. My wife feels shame beyond comprehension. She even refused to go to church as soon as we found out that my daughter was pregnant.
The relationship between Renee and her stepmother has always been stormy, and Annette Harrington's reaction to the pregnancy made it impossible for Renee to live at home. When she was 5 months pregnant, Renee left home and moved 400 miles away to Orlando, Florida.
Look like you're scared still.
Here at Beta House, a maternity home which provides shelter and counseling for pregnant women in distress, she awaits the birth of her baby.
Often parents say, don't come back home with the baby, you know, which means, you know, get rid of the kid and then we'll like you again, okay? And if she does it for those reasons, then she'll be back here. Within a year's time, historically, statistically, she'll try to replace the baby that she gave away. And she'll do it. She'll be back. And with the words, when she comes through our doors, this one I'm going to keep. This one's mine.
It's a hard decision. There are times that I wish I could keep my baby. I wish I could, you know, have someone that I could just watch grow.
Dr. Stephanie Geller, please call the operator. Dr. Stephanie Geller.
There he is.
Yeah. 8 1.5. I think it's 20.5 inches long.
Is that hair?
Oh, one little noise there.
When I saw that baby, it went through me as that, yeah, it was like, it was a miracle. You just couldn't believe that you made something like that.
Yes, you're hungry, eating your blanket. Here you go.
Although you see the world different than me, sometimes I can realize happy colors in pictures you design. Oh, yes, sweet darling, so glad you are a child of mine. Child of mine.
10, 20 years from now, I'm not going to be able to see the baby. This is the only time in my life I will be able to. I think if I would have kept my baby, it would have been for stubborn reasons. You know, the baby's got to have a future as well as me.
The times you were born in may not have been the best. You can make the times become better than the rest.
She can be happy with her decision, that she did the right thing, but still feel the pain of being separated from someone that she loves, because adoption is not a rejection of that child. It's a great deal of love and caring and consideration. And in the final moment, when it comes time to sign those papers, controlling your emotions enough to carry through.
Darling, so glad you are a child of mine.
You do realize that these are the final papers releasing the baby for adoption, and that by signing the papers you will be permanently terminating your rights to the child. Mm-hmm. And are you signing the papers voluntarily?
Yeah.
And has Miss Bierman made any commitments of gifts or money to you for signing the papers?
No.
Okay. Now we need your signature in full right down here on this line, please.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay? Or do you need to talk?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
I'm okay. I would imagine, you know, a lot of kids are probably going to be asking me when I go back, you know, how could you do that? How could you give up your baby? It's not easy to answer, but I feel I did it because I loved him. This morning when I woke up, it was just like he was missing, you know? Maybe if something goes wrong or something, it just may come out, well, you went out and got pregnant, you know, maybe be used against me. And I really won't need to be reminded because I'll remember.
Well, I really didn't plan to have sex till I was married. And he's a kind of a sweet talker. So it got kind of carried away there.
I asked you before how many of you were using a method of birth control when...
Susan Lynn is a teacher and a family planning counselor. She is talking to a group of high school girls who are either pregnant or have had children already.
Why did you choose not to use a method?
My boyfriend, he told me, he said, don't take no birth control. I said, I'm not, because I didn't want to take none.
I was using birth control, but my mom found him and she threw him away, so I wasn't using nothing and I ended up getting pregnant.
Right now, the public outcry is to return sex education to the family. But my experience is that either kids are uptight about asking their parents or parents are uptight about telling their kids.
And I'd say, you know, Mom, I have a boyfriend now. And she'd say, oh, I don't want to talk about it. She goes, you're not supposed to have it until you're 18.
Well, I was 13, you know, and I started having sex. And
had you talked to your mom or anybody in your family about sex?
Well, I tried to tell her, you know, well, I'm already, you know, starting to have sex. But, you know, she just acted like she didn't hear me, you know. And after she really wanted to talk about it, I was already pregnant, you know.
I would say that the majority of parents are not talking to their kids about sexuality, about family planning, about contraception, or about saying no. You know, it's okay not to be sexually active. But when the media is telling you you should be, and your friends are telling you you should be, and the records that you listen are telling you that you should be, it's real important that parents tell you that they don't think you should be.
Talking to kids about sex isn't easy. In a recent government survey, 98% of the parents said they needed help talking to their children about sex. And although most school districts are free to offer it, only 43% of our teenagers receive any sex education at all, and only 31% receive information about contraception. Small wonder that every year more and more teenagers become pregnant. Denise Valdivia is 13. In a few weeks, she's going to have a baby. Earlier this year, she dropped out of the 6th grade and was spending her time babysitting her mother's children when she decided she wanted one of her own.
I mostly take care of my brothers and sisters while my mom's at work. And before I got pregnant, I was out of school, and you know, there wasn't really anything to do. You know, just stay home. You know, and that was about it. So it was boring, but I wanted, you know, something to do.
At 12 years old, you wanted to have a baby?
Yeah, about a month or a month and a half before I got pregnant. I don't know why I wanted to have my, you know, my first baby when I was 19, but I don't know. My mind just changed. I don't know why.
Denise gave birth to a healthy baby boy, and for the next few weeks she can look forward to a shower of attention and affection. But the predictions for Denise are grim. Although her family has never received government aid, Denise will now have to file for welfare to support her child. Like most teenage mothers, she will probably never finish high school, much less junior high or even grammar school.
Doesn't he have big eyes, Ma? You can take a picture of the baby here.
The baby's father, Reuben, is 15 years old. He is years away from being able to support his son.
Here, go. Thank you, Claire.
Still children themselves, Denise at 13 and Reuben at 15 are now parents. And one statistic is clear. The younger the mother at the time of birth, the more likely that her child, too, will become a teenage parent. The girls we've met here have shattered dreams and unfulfilled hopes. And it's true, the prospects for happiness are not very promising for teenage mothers, especially for those who choose to keep their babies and raise a child alone. Despite any peer pressure you may feel, it's perfectly natural for you not to be sexually active. But if you are, you must take the precautions necessary. And saying no is one sure way to avoid pregnancy.
Hope is probably the most commonly used method of birth control in the adolescent population. Statistics say that if 100 women are using hope I won't get pregnant, as their method, in a year, 90 of them will.
Were you pregnant when you got here?
No.
Me and David knew about birth control pills, and that's why this year he said, you know, we are kind of stupid. And he said, we have everything right in front of our eyes, and we didn't even see it. And I said, you're right, we were very dumb.
I knew that you had to give them love and a little attention, but you have to give up a lot of things. At least I did.
I think if I would have kept my baby, it would have been for stubborn reasons. You know, the baby's got to have a future as well as me.